Everyone remembers the demon sorcerers. Almost nobody remembers the 8 mortal wizards who beat them, using objects you could buy at a market stall. A flute took down a demon. So did a flower. Today I'm ranking all 8 immortals from weakest to strongest, every power, every relic, plus a 20-year-old animation error hiding in plain sight. And fair warning, my number 1 is not up for debate. Number 8 starts us off. Quick setup before the countdown. Thousands of years ago, 8 demon siblings ruled the earth and humanity lived as their property. In real Chinese mythology, the 8 immortals who fought back are full-blown deities, but Jackie Chan Adventures deliberately rewrote them as mortal chi wizards and martial artists, and the flashback shows them dismantling all 8 demons with almost zero effort. The system was simple: 1 immortal, 1 chi-charged symbol, 1 demon sealed forever. Now, number 8. Jangli Kuan. In the old legends, he's the jovial alchemist whose fan could revive the dead. In the show, that fan drew what I consider the shortest straw of the ancient war, sealing Xiaofeng, the wind demon, a giant purple toad whose modern portal opened inside a prison washing machine. A demon that finds jail relaxing was never going to be the hardest assignment on the board. His fan's finest hour came centuries later, and it's pure comedy. In the rewritten Demon World timeline, Xiaofeng lounged like an emperor while his servant Paco cooled him with a fan, the exact enchanted fan that promptly blasted him back into the void, sealed by his own room service. The relic's afterlife gets even less dignified. In the Drago era, the fan's leftover wind chai turned up at a Chinese-themed car wash where Jade accidentally absorbed it and spent an episode as Toad Girl, weaponizing her own burps into windstorms. I'm putting Jangli Kuan last for one simple reason: we barely see him work. Like all 8, he never speaks a single word on screen. Fans still argue whether that silence is deliberate mystique or a budget shortcut, and his matchup gave him the least to prove. A sacred world-saving relic ending up between the wax and the rinse cycle kind of says it all. Number 7's symbol looks even softer. Its demon is still traumatized by it. A basket of flowers. That's the entire arsenal of number 7, Lan Kai, in the old legends, the youthful androgynous wanderer and patron of florists. And in Jackie Chan Adventures, that flower did something no other symbol managed. It left a demon with permanent psychological damage. Lan Kai's flower sealed Tieguai, the earth demon, a hulking bull-like bruiser and easily the simplest mind of the 8 siblings. Here's the scar it left. Tieguai canonically despises flowers, not dislikes, despises. When he emerged in Pamplona centuries later, the demon actually abandoned his fight with Jackie mid-battle just to charge at Jade because she was holding a single flower in her hands. The florist immortal turned the earth itself's demon into a creature terrified of a plant growing out of the earth. Fans point to this pairing as proof that the matchups were elemental chess, and I'm fully on board with that theory. Every wizard chosen as the exact psychological counter to their demon. This is also where the Immortals' hardware steals the show. To fight Tieguai, Jackie excavated the armor of the 8 Immortals from an abandoned mountainside temple in China, the actual battle gear these 8 forged and wore against the demon sorcerers. Put it on, and it shrinks into a skin-tight suit that adjusts to your body, then hands you superhuman strength, endurance, agility, and straight-up flight. Wearing it, Jackie tanked a falling boulder and traded blows with a demon several times his size. For me, that armor settles a fan debate on its own. These 8 weren't robe-wearing spellcasters hiding behind magic. They built combat armor because they fought demons hand-to-hand. Martial artists first, wizards second. Centuries later, during Drago's relic hunt, the flower's earth chai surfaced in San Diego, where Jackie absorbed it first before it ended up powering a superhero wannabe fanboy calling himself Spectaculary. I've got Lan Kai at 7 because the irony is iconic but the resume is thin. Number 6, though, needed more retrees than anyone. Number 6. Han Xiangzi, the scholar-musician of the legends, patron of every flutist in China. In the show, his flute sealed Shiwu, the sky demon, the fastest, sneakiest sibling in the family, and no other symbol in this entire arc needed as many retrees as this one. The flute's big moment came at Fenway Park in Boston, where Hesi Wu's portal opened right outside the women's restroom. The Sky Demon spent the whole episode disguised as a human kid to recover his severed tail, and the exact second that tail reattached, Jackie played Han Xiangzi's flute and blasted him screaming back into the void. Clean seal, but the story doesn't stay clean. In the rewritten Demon World timeline, the heroes needed to banish Shiwu again and had no flute on hand. The fix? Viper's singing. Her voice stood in for the sacred instrument and the spell still fired. Fans have argued about that scene for years. Either Han Xiangzi's symbol is the most flexible in the set or it's the least special, because apparently any decent melody clears the bar. Honestly, I lean toward the second reading, and that's exactly why he's stuck at 6. That scene also feeds a bigger fan theory. 3 of the 8 symbols are instruments, flute, drum, castanets, and one camp of fans reads that as hidden lore, sound-based chai being uniquely effective against demons. The show never explains it, but the pattern is hard to unsee. What happened to his relic is the most embarrassing chapter of the 8. During the Drago era, the Sky Chi got trapped inside Uncle's Chiomatic gadget, and on a school field trip to a haunted mansion, it was accidentally absorbed by Ms. Hartman, Jade's teacher, who spent an episode mutating into a sky demon. Han Xiangzi at 6. His seal works, but every single victory needed improvisation. Number 5, meanwhile, is hiding the quietest joke the writers ever told. Number 5, Cao Guoju. In the legends, he's the noble-born immortal, patron of theater and actors, carrying jade clappers. In the show, those clappers became the castanets that sealed Changzu, the thunder demon, and this is where I'm convinced the writers buried their quietest joke. Think about it. The patron of showbiz sealed the exact demon whose portal opened in Hollywood, where his ancient palace had been paved into a studio parking lot. The theater Immortal owns the theater district. Fans are split on whether that's coincidence or intent, but I refuse to believe it's an accident. The pairing is too clean. The castanets even got a sequel. In the rewritten Demon World timeline, Changzu ambushed the heroes, and Paco, of all people, produced a pair of castanets from his pocket to seal the thunder demon forever. His explanation? He wanted to carry maracas, but they didn't fit. During Drago's relic hunt, the castanets turned up aboard a sunken shipwreck called the Oceanic in the Arctic. Jade saw the letters ANIC and got very excited about the wrong boat, before Drago absorbed the Thunder Chi and supercharged himself on the Seattle Space Needle. Now, quick pit stop, because I promised you an error. In The J-Team, Uncle narrates exactly who sealed whom, but the animation shows something completely different. On screen, Xianggu is fighting Shiwu, even though her lotus belongs to Tsolan. A fan analyst going by Mask131 decoded the entire flashback and found that almost nobody is fighting their own demon. Lü Dongbin swings at Xiaofeng. Tieguai squares off against Changzi. Jangli Kuan takes on Tieguai. Half those reads are confident, half are educated guesses, but the mismatch itself is undeniable. The fandom's favorite fix is genuinely elegant. The Immortals fought as a team. One wizard held the demon down while the partner holding the right symbol landed the seal. A 20-year-old animation error quietly upgraded into lore. And the wildest part is that it's still sitting in that episode, unfixed, to this day. There's one Immortal, though, whose on-screen fight was accidentally perfect. He's number 4. The ancient hermit who rode his donkey backwards takes number 4. Jang Guolao. In the show, his bamboo drum sealed Pokong, the mountain demon, the single largest creature in the entire family. Sit with that contrast for a second. The smallest instrument on the board took down a walking landmass, a demon so durable she shrugged off dragon talisman blasts like mosquito bites. The seal itself came with conditions. In Tokyo, the drum had to be struck 3 separate times to fire, and the sequence turned into pure slapstick. Jackie landed the first 2 hits, and the third came completely by accident from Shendu's possessed Valmont mid-brawl. Sloppy execution, clean result. The mountain demon went back into the void. Here's why I'm ranking him above the previous 3. Remember that scrambled flashback we just covered where almost nobody fights their own demon? Jang Guolao is the one exception. On screen, the oldest-looking immortal with the longest beard squares off against Pokong, the single matchup that accidentally lines up with real mythology characterization. Fans literally call it the one they got right, and surviving an animation disaster untouched earns real points in my book. His relic's modern fate might be the funniest in the show. By the time of Drago's hunt, the sacred drumsticks had been reshaped into chopsticks, sitting in a pile at an artifacts museum in Quebec City, until Toru, raiding the collection for a midnight snack, grabbed the wrong pair and absorbed the mountain demon's chai mid-bite. A relic that once caged the biggest demon alive spent centuries as cutlery, and the running fan joke about the Immortals' sacred objects becoming junk peaks right here. Jang Guolao at 4, clean seal, mythology-accurate fight, unbeatable size contrast. The top 3 opens with the wizard who outthought the smartest demon in the family. Number 3, Li Tieguai, Iron Crutch Li. In the legends, he's the healer whose soul returned from a spirit journey to find his body gone, forcing him into the corpse of a lame beggar. He's carried a crutch and a medicine gourd ever since. And in the show, that gourd pulled off the takedown that puts him in my top 3. He sealed the smartest demon in the family. His target was Baitsa, the water demon, and her resume explains everything. She was the only sibling who survived her debut episode, because instead of raging like her brothers, she dissolved into water and fled. She correctly identified Uncle, not Jackie, as the real threat on the board, and went straight for his spell gear to disarm the one man who could banish her. She refused to free Shendu from Valmont's body because the math didn't favor her. Every other demon played checkers, Baitsa played chess, and Li Tieguai's gourd still caught her, mid-tsunami, standing on top of her own wave, at the absolute peak of her power. The smartest demon in the arc lost to the wizard holding a water jug. Fans love this matchup as the strongest exhibit for the elemental chess theory. The healer, whose emblem is literally a water vessel, was assigned the water demon. Under that reading, the Immortals weren't handed demons at random. Each one was handpicked as the precise counter to their opponent. And I'd add my own evidence to that pile. If the assignments were random, the hardest demons would have landed on random wizards. Instead, the trickiest opponents keep landing on the most specialized counters. That's not luck. That's a draft strategy. There's a quieter detail here I genuinely love. In the flashback, Li Tieguai fights with his bad leg fully visible, the only disabled combatant on that ancient battlefield, and still undefeated. The show never comments on it. It doesn't need to. His seal does carry one asterisk. The gourd's banishing beam accidentally dragged Jade through the closing portal along with Baitsa, making it the only immortal symbol that ever banished a hero. During the relic hunt years later, the gourd resurfaced as a prize on a tropical game show called the International Island Challenge. The Chans competed through the entire show, and Drago still walked away with it. Li Tieguai at 3. Smartest demon takedown, cleanest matchup logic, one accidental friendly fire. Number 2 is the leader, and his seal was so strong it landed twice. Number 2, Lü Dongbin. In the legends, he's the most famous of all 8 Immortals, the scholar swordsman carrying a demon-slaying blade. In the show, that blade drew the heaviest assignment on the board, Shendu himself, the fire demon, and the franchise's arch-villain. The leader takes the boss. That's never officially stated in an episode, but the fandom treats his leadership as settled fact. Even the wiki crowd flatly calls him the leader of the 8E, and I'm treating it as fact too because the sword versus archdemon pairing reads exactly like a captain assigning himself the hardest fight in the room. Here's my case for number 2. His seal is the only one that landed twice. Shendu is the one demon who ended up in 2 separate prisons, banished behind a portal like his siblings, and later locked inside a stone statue with his 12 powers carved out into the talismans that fueled an entire season of the show. And when the endgame arrived centuries later, it was Lü Dongbin's sword that finished the job again, blasting Shendu's spirit clean out of Valmont's body at Moose World in Hong Kong. Picture that scene for a second. A crime boss collapses in a theme park, a dragon's spirit gets ripped into the void, and the weapon doing it was forged thousands of years earlier by a wizard who planned for exactly this. 1 symbol, 2 victories, centuries apart. No other Immortal's weapon stayed relevant that long. There's also a mystery attached to him that fans genuinely love. During Drago's hunt, every Immortal relic resurfaced somewhere in the modern world. The fan at a car wash, the gourd on a game show, the drumsticks as chopsticks, every single one except his. The fire relic never appeared on screen, not once. The fandom's favorite explanation is elegant, and I fully buy it. The sword's fire chi didn't need a relic because it was already walking around inside Drago, Shendu's son, who inherited his father's fire from birth. The missing 8th relic is the final villain of the entire series. One more thread fans pull on: the lineage theory. Lü Dongbin's era of chi wizards didn't end with the Immortals. Fans chain a succession of good chi masters running from the 8 through Lo Pei, the warrior who petrified Shendu, down to Chi Master Fong, who trained Uncle, who trained Toru. The show never confirms the chain, but it never breaks it either. So why isn't the leader my number one? Because someone else's matchup was even more unfair, and she made it look effortless. Number 1. Xianggu. In the legends, she's the only woman among the 8 Immortals. In the show, she drew the single most unfair assignment in the entire ancient war and swept it. Fans have crowned her before, but let me be clear, this is my pick, and I'll defend it. Her lotus pod sealed Solan, the moon demon, not just any sibling, the eldest of the 8, the one who manipulates gravity itself, the demon whose idea of conquest was dragging the moon out of orbit to wreck Earth's entire ecosystem. Measure the modern effort against hers. Centuries later, it took a space station, a lotus pod smuggled inside Jackie's spacesuit, and Uncle chanting the spell from mission control just to reseal this demon, a full space program working overtime. Xianggu did it alone, thousands of years ago with a flower pod. Even the fandom's own trope pages hand her special credit for launching a gravity-bending demon into outer space, while openly admitting nobody knows exactly how she pulled it off. Undefeated, unexplained, unbothered. That's a number 1 resume. She even has a signature the animators gave nobody else. In the flashback, her banishing beams glow pink, matching her dress, the only color-coded kill in the entire sequence. And her relic's afterlife is the most absurd of all 8. Years later, the lotus chi surfaced in a zoo lotus pond where it was absorbed by a panda named Yin Yang, the strongest demon in the family, and his prison key ended up inside a panda. So where did she go? Where did any of them go? The show never answers, and fans split into 2 camps. One says the Immortals ascended to a higher plane, mirroring their real-world legends. The other says the sealing war destroyed them. Here's the evidence that keeps me firmly in the first camp. When Chengdu rewrote the Book of Ages so the banishment never happened, the symbols still worked. History itself said these 8 never sealed anyone, and their chi answered anyway. Sit with that. Villains in this show delete timelines. The 8 Immortals win inside deleted timelines. That's why they're the only faction in all 5 seasons that never lost a single fight. Not to demons, not to dark wizards, not even to erased history. So here's your homework for the comments. Which Immortal deserved their own spin-off? I've made my answer obvious. She banishes demons in pink. And if you think Lü Dongbin got robbed of the crown, make your case down there too. Next time we're cracking open another forgotten vault of this show's lore. Stick around for that one.